Hi, friends. This is Adam Shoemaker, your rector, and our associate rector, Laura Rizek, here as we mark Ash Wednesday today and move into the season of Lent to talk to you about um, a spiritual practice that we associate with this time of year, and that is almsgiving, acts of charity. And for me, we do this because the season of Lent is all about reorienting our hearts back towards God and back towards our neighbor, and especially being mindful of our neighbors in need, the vulnerable, the sick, the poor, and victims of conflict and war, like our sisters and brothers in Ukraine that we are all holding in prayer right now. The act of almsgiving, of making that an intentional part of our spiritual lives, in my experience, can help us to reorient our hearts, help us to turn ourselves back towards God and neighbor, and remind us that we are part of a human family that is interrelated, which can be freeing and life-giving as well. And we have some opportunities during this Lenten season that we would like you to know about in this regard. And Reverend Laura will be talking to us about those opportunities.
Great, thank you, Adam. So the first opportunity that we have is really a response to an emergency need. And it's something that began to develop organically in our congregation. So as Adam was saying, we have all been watching with horror the devastation and the refugee crisis that's happening right now in Eastern Europe because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And so many of us have been wondering, across an ocean, how we can help. And I was so pleased to see very recently that Episcopal Relief and Development, which is our church's organization that tries to partner around the world to help meet some of these kinds of needs, is partnering with Anglican partners, so people from the wider communion, to try to provide assistance to refugees coming out of Ukraine. And so we'll put a link underneath this video when we post it on social media. We'll also we'll see if we can include the link too in the YouTube description, where you can donate directly to ERD specifically for that fund. Your clergy are going to make donations from our discretionary funds. And I also wanted to name something I thought was really lovely at the Oyster Roast this past Sunday, which was a wonderful event that so many of us were able to attend. Some of the children of the parish set up their own little lemonade stand, and they donated a portion of the proceeds back to the church. So they came up to me with a wad of cash and some change that they wanted to give to the church, and they asked me to take care of that for them. And so we're going to send this as our first donation, the contribution that our children made, followed by the donations from clergy resources, and we hope donations from parishioners as well. So that's the first opportunity to give alms, really a response to an emergency need that our brothers and sisters have across the world. The second opportunity is in your Lent bags. And these are boxes that many of us who've been in the Episcopal Church for a while are familiar with. These are United Thank Offering boxes from the United Thank Offering Organization, or the UTO. The UTO makes grants to support innovative mission and ministry all across the Episcopal Church, and not just domestically, but also efforts that are taking place around the world. So you can fold these boxes up small like this, and you can see there's a little hole in the top. And one thing that you can do throughout Lent, and indeed throughout the Easter season, because our ingathering won't be till later, but throughout the season of Lent especially, if you have extra change in your pockets, if you have some extra money lying around at the end of the day, maybe put some in this box and consider it an opportunity you have to reflect at that moment in gratitude for the things that you have, and maybe to say a prayer for the people around the world who don't have the same kind of resources. Again, that's part of that shifting, that returning that Adam was talking about, that reorienting of our perspective. This is a way that we can do that every single day. And so I encourage you, just keep donating your change. And if Episcopalians all over the country are doing this, the money that comes together at the end, even though it seems small when it's here in your box, will be used to fund a lot of really wonderful projects around the church. So donating to ERD to support Ukrainian refugees and using your United Thank Offering boxes are two great ways that we invite you to use to lean into this practice of almsgiving during the Lenten season.
Thank you, Laura. I know that you have experience in other parts of the world working with our church. I do as well. Having served as a missionary, I am intimately familiar with the good work of Episcopal Relief and Development and the United Thank Offering. So these are two very worthy institutions of our church, helping to extend that reach of love and compassion from all of us here in the United States to people in need across the globe. And I want to close by saying that aside from that reorientation of our hearts that we try to be about during this Lenten season, practices like this are important because when we consider our relationship with our money, with our financial resources, we're considering how we might be good stewards of all that has been entrusted to us. And that is also something that we are asked to be about in the church and as individual Christians. And so I would invite you during this Lenten season to consider almsgiving as one of your Lenten spiritual practices. Blessings to you, friends, on this Ash Wednesday as we enter into this very sacred time of year. Take care and be well and stay safe. So long, everyone.